Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today you're joining us for a little bit of a chat about wedges. I've been spending and I've splashed out on 3 new wedges for the season, and I want to explain, why I've chose these wedges, and in particular talk a little bit about the finishes. Now, I went into this with an open mind. I didn't just go straight in thinking I want this wedge. I went into it with an open mind, and I tried a couple of wedges I actually like the look of. You'll probably agree when you're buying wedges, I think the most important thing is that it feels nice when you use it and that you get the control that you need around the green. But I think aesthetically it's really important that you like your equipment as well. So, I did a little bit of research and I thought, what wedges do I actually love the look of? And I narrowed it down to 3, and I'm going to start with the copper TaylorMade mill grind high toe wedges. I absolutely love the copper finish, especially once you've used these a few times and they really start to shine. I think they are so attractive. But what did it for me, and the reason why I didn't choose to go down the route of testing these wedges further, were not because they didn't feel nice or they weren't responsive, because they really were. And I am known to sort of catch a few shots towards the toe, and that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to have my most lofted club, when you're cutting across the ball or you're playing them bunker shots with a high toe, because I thought that would be such a great idea. But the reason I didn't get this set of wedges is because you couldn't get, the high toe starts from 54 and above, and I wanted to go 50, 54 and 60, and I couldn't face getting a 54 with a high toe, because when I look down at it and I'm playing full shots, it just looked too cumbersome to me. I don't mind it on a 60 or a 58, but the 54 would have been for more sort of like 80-yard shots and, half swing shots where I'm playing, not so close to the green, and it's not traditional, is it? Let's be fair. I think if they'd have done that in a standard face option, then they could have been in the bag this year, because I absolutely love the copper finish. I think it looks fantastic, performs well, and they felt really nice too. So we didn't go TaylorMade. Oh, one other point while we're on this, one of the things that really got me looking at TaylorMade to start with is that I've ordered some 9s which you've not seen yet, and the free upcharge options in shafts with TaylorMade is incredible. You've got the Modus free, which is quite a commonly used shaft. You've got the Dynamic Gold Tour Issue wedge shaft, and you've got the KBS High Rev, that's more like a stock shaft. But to have them 2 options without an upcharge in wedges is incredible, because the wedges I've gone for, them shafts were £30 extra upcharge alone to have them in the wedges, which I didn't opt to do because I'm from Yorkshire. So I've not gone for an upcharge shaft in the wedges I chose. But if you're using sort of custom fitted irons and you're trying to sort of tie matching shafts into the wedges, go and check out TaylorMade's free upcharge options on shafts in wedges, because that could sway you if you're not like myself and you don't mind, having a full face or a high toe face in the 54. So I didn't look at mill grind too. They were never an option for me. They didn't flatter me, the heads. If it were going to be TaylorMade I went for, the heads would have had to flatter me, and it would have been the copper finish that would have drawn me towards them. Now, I haven't got the Cleveland wedges to talk about, but I was in America and I saw they do a raw finish wedge. The RTX, I'm not sure what number they're on now. Is it like 6.0 or something? But the latest RTX wedge, they're doing a raw finish. Now, most manufacturers now don't offer a raw finish wedge. I know Titleist do, but it comes at a premium price, and they're about £229 to get a raw finish wedge, where in Cleveland you can get this raw finish. And if you don't know what a raw finish is, it's just basically a finish that will rust. All right, it's designed so it's not got like a polished finish on top. So it's, if we used Titleist for an example, you've got the sort of black finish, you've got the toe chrome, and then you've got the sort of like steel looking finish. It's just completely raw, so it will rust a little bit, almost like look a bit oil cannish. But I fancied a raw finish, because I wanted that toe sort of, absolute feel, with no sort of polish on the club at all. I wanted them to sort of rust and and look, really good and feel good. And I could have been swayed into the Cleveland, apart from not having the access to actually get some. We don't stock Cleveland here. Most pro shops that when I went to have a look to see if I could find them, didn't stock the raw finish because, in fact, shelf life wise, once that wrapper comes off, they wouldn't look too great. They'd start to deteriorate. So I think most pros were just stocking the sort of polished finishers, which would have a little bit better shelf life. So that comes to the wedges that I chose, and I've gone Titleist again, and I've not opened them. They're still sealed. I've waited all day. These come in at 10 o'clock, and I waited till 6 o'clock to open them on camera and show you what I bought. And I'm going to explain why I bought these wedges, and especially why I bought these finishers as well. So I had the SM8 last year, which I was not unhappy with at all. Really enjoyed playing them. If there were one thing that I would have done differently, it would have been that I wouldn't have got the steel finish in, what is it called? Is it brush steel? It's not brush steel, is it? Brush steel's the other one. Toe chrome. Let's get it right. Toe chrome. I wouldn't have got the toe chrome in the. I used a 60 last year in the 60 because of the glare. When it's sunny, it was absolutely blinding, and there were a few occasions where, that glare really did distract me when I was having to play sort of shots with an open face. So that's why I've opted not to get a high lofted wedge in toe chrome. They have come gripless, so I like to put my own grips on. However, I've opted to get toe chrome in the 50 and 54 because I want them to look traditional. When I'm playing them sort of fuller shots from sort of 100 to sort of 80 yards, or them off pitch shots, I wanted my wedges to look traditional. I'll put a close up of them ones in, guys, and then in the 58 I've gone black with a little bit of pimping on there. So we've got the wedge work stamped in there in black. I'll put a close up, and the skulls, which it's actually, for you guys, it would cost you £15 more to have, something etched in there name-wise. And also, the skulls or any sort of other printings, another £15. So I paid an extra £30 to have the skull and some text. So I've customised that. I think it looks fantastic. And I went black. I mean, I were thinking, because when we were thinking about reducing glare, I was thinking, should I go brush steel? Which I think brush steel on the shelf look absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at that. However, Alex, my boss, she'd actually had some of these in the bags. These are the SM9s. She's had these in the bag about 3 months. She don't play a great deal of golf. And, I took them out, had a little play with them. But I weren't happy with the wear. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I mean, most people, I'm sure you wouldn't be so bothered, but I don't know. I just felt like they were, if you can see, she's a good player, a really good ball striker. But the finishes on these, I mean, they look to me as though they could be, if I didn't know they were SM9s, I'd think they were 3-4 year old, and she's only just got them. So I just don't think the wear as good as toe chrome or black. I think even the black wear as well. I've seen people with these in the bag. And yeah, you're going to get some marks out the face, no doubt, where you strike it. But the back of the club always seem to wear quite well in black. So I've gone black. Now, in an ideal world, I would have liked to have got the Modus 3, the lighter ones, the 105s, in my wedges, but there was an upcharge with Titleist. These were approximately about £30 more per club. So I said, being from Yorkshire, I opted to go for a free upcharge, where, in all fairness to Titleist, there is quite a few options without an upcharge, but they tend to be sort of the lighter shafts, which, ideally, if you know a little bit about wedges, you don't want to be putting the same flex in your wedges as what you would have in your irons anyway. So I've opted to just go for AMT S300s, which are quite a light. I think they're about 100 grams, just under 100 grams. Where in my irons, I'm going to be using Modus 3 120s, so 120 grams. So these are a little bit lighter because I'm not going to be playing as, full of swings. They're going to be for around the green, where I like to have a little bit more control and feel of the head. So that's why I've gone for AMT black, although if I would have had a choice and it would have been a free upcharge, I would have gone for the Modus to match with my irons, but in a lighter weight and a softer flex. So that's a bit from me today, and that's a bit on my wedges and what I've chose for this year. And get in the comments, guys, if you're in the market for new wedges this year, what are you looking for? Have you tested any wedges? Is there anything you really like? And yeah, I can't wait to get at them and try these. I'm going to get them gripped tonight, and I'm playing tomorrow, but I'm not on camera tomorrow, but it won't be long before you see these in the bag on the channel, and it won't be long before my new irons arrive. So I'm looking forward to unveiling them. And yeah, have a great week, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in a few days' time. Make sure you subscribed. We've got some great content coming up for you this year, and yeah, see you in a few days' time. Bye.